Welcome everyone to my recording of the process of redesigning the website for our CPI commercial and property inspections. First, I want to show you what I used to design the site. I used Bootstrap for a front-end framework, and I used Pinegrow to design the pages for the new website. Previously had used Wix and built a custom site from scratch using Bootstrap, using Pinegrow as I built out all of the breakpoints for a fully responsive site, which then was built out using Craft CMS. So first here in Pinegrow, as you can see, I've opened several of the design windows so you can see how it's looking responsively. First here is a 320 pixel view here on the left side. Very simple site, didn't have many links, so I designed it so that the navigation would work regardless of the size of the device the user's viewing. So here, 320 pixels, that's like your iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone SE, etc. Over here we have opened a new design window in Pinegrow where we are displaying it in 640 pixels wide. Then we have another design window where you can see how it looks at 768 pixels wide. One of the nice things about Pinegrow is you can open these multiple windows to see how things look responsively. You also have the navigation tree here on the right side, so I can click and see how things are built out in the DOM. You also can go into the code view where you can see what things look like in code. So again, this is built out just with Bootstrap 4, so it allows you to drag and drop components as you need to if you'd like to, or you can just go into code mode and work in code. So this site I actually designed in code, made a top page and then a secondary level page template for the secondary pages. So if we look at the left side here, here's where the components are that you can view in Pinegrow. So with Bootstrap, it allows you to drag and drop components on the screen if you'd like, or you can just drag your typical HTML components, or elements I should say, like H2, lists, etc., to build out your design visually, or then dive into code. So that's what I used to build this site in the HTML framework. If we were to look at the code editor Expresso, you can see each page for the site. I built out, as I mentioned, all the pages, all the content was built out, and the HTML was customized, even though we did use Bootstrap to get things mocked up, but used Pinegrow to refine the design in several different areas. So I'm going to close some of these windows so we can just see one view. That's all we need to see right now. So now I'll show you what this looks like in the browser. So this is this site in the wild. We have the top page. We have the about page. We have the services page. And on the services page, each section has a gallery and an FAQ section. And this is all controlled and managed via Craft CMS. The galleries that were built out was just used simple CSS for the modal windows, so no JavaScript was necessary for the galleries for each of these sections. And wanted this to be very simple to manage, so we use the same template as you come into each of these services. So as we see here, some of the services did not have FAQ content or gallery content, so those were just skipped in those particular cases. So here's another section, residential. Here's their FAQs for those, which are all managed in Craft CMS through the matrix fields, which is a very powerful system. I'm not going to go into how that was built out, but just note that it was built with Craft CMS. All this was custom designed HTML code. Nice thing about Craft CMS, it doesn't force you to build things the way that a lot of CMSs like WordPress do force you to do. That's one of the things I really appreciate about that. So we'll go back to the services. So as you can see, use the same template in Craft for each of these services. There was a blog feature also built out in Craft so that the customer could go in and add his own blogs very simply from the control panel within Craft. And now let's take a look and see how this performs in mobile responsive mode. So, of course, if you're on your device, you'll see how that works. We're just going to demonstrate this here in Firefox. So here we have it down to 320 by 480. You see everything is flowing as we would expect it to. Let's look at some of the other pages. So where we did have those services kind of in a grid, a squared grid, here it turns into one column. And we see those FAQs and galleries also turn into one column. Very simple. And let's look at it from another viewpoint. Here's where we have it looking at it from the size of perhaps an iPad. Or we can just simply expand our page to see how the responsiveness is working. Let's go back to the services page. Here we see our squared grid, and as our viewport changes, we can see how it's automatically reflowing. So working on any device regardless. So I like to build things in a device agnostic style using responsive web design. Trying to do what we can in the design to avoid unnecessary abstractions. So for one, we don't use that hamburger menu that a lot of people use. Very small site, no need for that. So regardless of the environment the user's on, the navigation is consistent and they can use the site whether it's a smartphone, a tablet, their PC, etc. So that's the design for RCPI inspections. Thank you for watching.